Alright guys, what's up today? Got you guys with another video. This is lower body, back extensions, 60 squats, leg raises, and 100 squats with a 40-pound vest. I only included the first sets of the first three exercises because I wanted to focus mainly on the last exercise, which were the squats, which were undoubtedly the hardest part of this workout. I did back extensions because I felt like I haven't properly hit my posterior chain in a while. I haven't done RDLs in a minute. I haven't done just any like hamstring and direct glute work for a minute. So these were a nice adjustment, especially doing them outside. Here I'm realizing I guess I can't get down as far as I would want to have because my hamstring flexibility is really poor. It's kind of hard for me to touch my toes while keeping my legs straight without my hamstrings feeling like they're going to cramp up. But I still felt a great stretch in my hamstrings, lower back, and especially my glutes. But after this, moved right on to the sissy squats, which is a pretty good exercise for the quads. It's basically a quad isolator. If you want to just work your quads, this is good. This is like it is pure isolation, basically, right? Pure isolation within calisthenics, and it does require some balancing. You see, I have my hand on that beam, and honestly, unless you're worried about wanting to do this exercise with great balance, there's no point in trying to do it freely, right? If you just want to work your quads, then go ahead and just work your quads just by making sure you have your hand on something. Next up were the leg raises. I did these yesterday. Decided to do them again today for 3 sets. Interestingly enough, I'm not sore from the other day or the other days prior. I am pretty used to working out my core often. So usually the more often you work a muscle, the less sore it becomes over time. So you want to keep that in mind, especially if you're a beginner. If you like to do a lot of push-ups and at first your triceps or in your chest are very sore, over time, you can bust out 100 push-ups and you won't be sore like at all. And you could do that consistently for multiple days at a time. Then now we have the Soul Destroyer, the Dream Crusher, I don't know, everything else in between. 100 squats with a 40-pound vest. I've done 100 squats, done 120, I've done 150 squats just with my own body weight. And I have squatted with the weight vest before, done a couple hundred or just 100. But today was, I don't know what today was. Today was a killer. It killed me. But that's one thing that I want to talk about. This was hard. This was difficult. This was mentally challenging, right? I might have had the endurance, but it's the struggle, the mental struggle. And I believe things like this are very important to have in your workouts, right? Maybe an entire workout or a couple of exercises in a workout should be exercises that are mentally challenging on you, make you mentally tough. Because think about it, if you work out in the beginning of the day and it was this hard, extreme workout, just think about how the rest of your day is going to be, right? The rest of your day is going to be fairly tame compared to what you just put yourself through willingly in the morning, right? Like, you have to work a 10-hour shift. Well, I just did 100 squats with a 40-pound vest, right? If you just, I don't know, you have to tell your boss something major or you have to break news to somebody. Well, guess what? You just did 5 million squats in the morning before you even had breakfast, right? So it's really just getting through that mental struggle, that mental toughness, and it'll help you get through the rest of your day. Like, I have to go and stay on my feet later in the day for 10 hours, and I won't be coming back home until late, but that should be fairly tame to what I just put myself through. Even now, I'm still feeling the effects of just what I just did to myself here. Like, like just getting out of the shower, I felt sluggish, everything. But it's like now I'm starting to gain energy whilst recording this video or recording this voiceover. I'm starting to gain energy because it's like my body realizes that it can take on anything else for the entire day. It can take on going to work and standing on my feet and bending down and picking up boxes for 10 hours straight. It's able to handle that now. And a lot of people will make excuses. They'll say things, oh, I can't do that because, I got to do this, or I got to do my job, I have to do this. But it's like, I don't think those are valid in my opinion, right? Unless your job is Olympic weightlifting or something, then okay, I can get that. I can see how 100 squats can impede your performance. But if you're going to your job to where, even if it's like physically taxing, like let's say you're a teenager and you work at McDonald's or Chick-fil-A and you got to stand on your feet for maybe 8 hours or something like that, still, that didn't stop me from training. It shouldn't stop you as well. Especially in the lower body department, right? People will make 1,001 excuses as to not train their lower body, ever, right? Oh, I already got big enough legs, or I gotta, that's a little too tough, or whatever, right? People will make any excuse to not do a squat. And why? Because it is hard, it is difficult, bro. You think a squat just works your legs, but it's really your entire body. It works you down to your entire core, right? If you're gonna do hundreds of reps of bodyweight squats, if you're gonna do 3 sets of like heavy barbell squats, those are some of the hardest things you can do and you can willingly put yourself through. But to willingly put yourself through that consistently, whether it be every day or every other day or 2 times a week, that will just increase just your mental capability, your mental capacity, just all throughout your entire life, because you are willing and able to put yourself through something 99% of people won't put themselves through. And sure, there may be people who are really struggling, who are really going through a lot of things, who might have to work all day, right? They're not a part of the that demographic, I would say. But the people who kind of just go to work and come home, if you're doing these hard exercises, earlier in the day, in the middle of the day, or, whenever you have free time during the day, then you are ahead of most people. And even if you feel like you're not consistent, even if you feel like you could do better, just know that you are still ahead of the game compared to just the average person, right? But to get even farther, you have to do what's hard. You have to do what's difficult. You have to do what's mentally straining, because that's what makes you grow, right? You can do all these exercises that you think are fun and are enjoyable and are cool, but at some point you're gonna get used to them, and at some point it's gonna become the new normal for you. And at some point you won't be pushing yourself as hard because now there's not much of a mental challenge anymore, right? So every now and then, or every workout, just have one exercise that will crush you. You can see here in the footage, I'm literally struggling. I'm literally just trying to talk myself into to keep going. I'm literally over here just, okay, I gotta do this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got 20 more. I got 30 more. I got blah 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 blah. Right. And with this entire workout, I could have stopped with the first 3 exercises, right? I did 3 sets of all of those exercises, and I could have stopped, right? I hit my quads with the sissy squats. I got my posterior chain with the back extensions. I even got my core. I could have stopped. I could have walked right back into the house and stopped. But I knew what it is that I had to do, right? I already had this written down the day before, and I just did it. I just got to it. I got up, put on the vest, strapped it on. I just went down and came back up, paused, 100 times, because I wanted to give myself that challenge. It was hard, it was difficult, but at the end of it, I felt accomplished. See you guys later.